The morning of my wedding should have been filled with excitement. My suit was crisp, my heart was steady, and the flowers smelled of promise. But nothing prepared me for the ping of my phone just as I finished tying my tie. It was her, my fiancée. A message, short and shattering. "I can't do this. Please forgive me." I read it 3 times, thinking I had misinterpreted, that autocorrect had ruined some innocent sentence. But no. The truth hit me harder than any cold realization I had ever known. She had abandoned me at the altar, before it even began. Panic surged. Anger followed. Confusion danced alongside betrayal. I wanted to scream, to call her, to beg for answers. But something inside me froze. Grandma's voice whispered, calm and firm, from the past. "Don't let panic make your next move. Hold steady, observe, document, then respond with precision." I didn't call. I didn't run. I simply sat, staring at the message, my mind sharp despite the ache in my chest. I opened her texts from the past months, her emails, the small inconsistencies I had ignored. I realized everything was there, if I had only looked. Subtle signs of her distance, hidden flirtations, excuses I had trusted. The pattern had always been there. By the time the florist arrived, the caterer called, and the guests began trickling in. I had made a choice. I would not crumble. I would not chase her. I would survive, and I would make sure the truth spoke louder than the heartbreak. I calmly called the wedding planner. "Cancel the service," I said. "The venue remains, but only for me and a few close friends." Guests arrived, expecting a celebration. Instead, they found a quiet gathering where I stood alone, yet composed. The flowers, the decorations, they were all there, but the center of the stage was empty. And that was intentional. Hours later, her family called, frantic, trying to explain, to defend her. I let them speak, recorded the conversations, asked for confirmations. Every explanation, every excuse became another piece of evidence, proof of her indecision, proof of her betrayal, proof that I had chosen stability and dignity over chaos and lies. Days turned into weeks. I shared the story carefully, not to humiliate, but to reclaim my narrative. Friends, family, even colleagues who had been quietly aware of tension began to understand. They respected my composure, my restraint, and my courage in facing the abandonment without losing myself. I focused on my life. I booked a small trip I had always dreamed of, invested time in hobbies, strengthened relationships I had neglected in the stress of planning a wedding. Each step forward was deliberate, a silent affirmation. I was no longer defined by her choices. Months later, I received a message from her, hesitant, apologetic, desperate. "I didn't mean to hurt you. Can we talk?" I smiled softly, sipping coffee on my balcony overlooking the city skyline. I typed one sentence. "I've moved on. I hope you find your truth, as I have found mine." Her reply never came, and that was enough. Because sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't confrontation. It isn't anger or spectacle. It's grace. It's reclaiming your life when someone tries to destroy your happiness. And that day, abandoned before my wedding, I realized that freedom and dignity were worth more than any ring, any dress, or any fleeting promise. I didn't just survive betrayal. I rose above it, untouchable, and stronger than ever before.